The Prime Minister's absence from the state of emergency press conference sends the wrong signal. An editorial by Professor Wall Street. The recent announcement of a state of emergency, SOE, in Trinidad and Tobago has sent shockwaves across the nation. Yet, amid the gravity of this moment, one glaring omission has left citizens puzzled, disappointed, and even alarmed. The absence of Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley from the press conference to explain the reasoning and necessity behind this critical decision. As the head of the National Security Council and the leader of the country, Dr. Rowley's absence at this pivotal juncture sends a troubling signal to the population. At a time when the nation is grappling with an unprecedented surge in violent crime, people are looking for assurance, leadership, and clarity. Instead, his non-appearance creates the perception of detachment or worse, resignation in the face of one of the most pressing crises in our history. A state of emergency is not a decision to be taken lightly. It fundamentally alters the rights and freedoms of citizens and is a tool of last resort in addressing national crises. The people deserve to hear directly from the Prime Minister, the individual ultimately responsible for charting the nation's course and providing the rationale for such a dramatic measure. This is not merely a procedural or political expectation. It is a matter of accountability and respect for the citizens who will be most affected. Dr. Rowley's silence at such a critical time leaves room for damaging speculation. Is he overwhelmed by the spiraling crime problem? Has he lost faith in his administration's ability to curb the violence? Or worse, is this a signal of his government's inability to manage the national security apparatus effectively? Citizens are entitled to answers, and they are entitled to them from the country's highest office. By delegating this responsibility, Dr. Rowley not only undermined the gravity of the announcement, but also missed an opportunity to galvanize public confidence in his administration's approach to addressing the crisis. Leadership, particularly in moments of crisis, requires more than policy making behind closed doors. It demands visibility, direct communication, and a willingness to stand before the nation to address its concerns head-on. Dr. Rowley's absence suggests a worrying lack of urgency, or worse, a lack of solutions. Trinidad and Tobago is at a crossroads. Violent crime threatens to destabilize the social and economic fabric of our society, and citizens are desperate for reassurance that the government is not just aware of the gravity of the situation, but is actively and confidently addressing it. The Prime Minister's decision to remain absent from such a crucial announcement sends the wrong message, one of detachment, frustration, or even defeat. Dr. Rowley must recognize that the role of Prime Minister extends beyond policy decision. It is about leading from the front, particularly when the nation faces its darkest moments. The citizens of this country deserve better, and they deserve it now. As the saying states, a fish doesn't rotten from the tail.